What's up, Taiwan? I'm Tiffany Wong with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. The first part of Taiwan's domestically developed satellite constellation has successfully entered orbit.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Engines full power. And liftoff. Go Falcon, go Transporter 15.
Launched on a SpaceX rocket from California, along with over 100 other satellites, the Formosat 8 is one of 8 small satellites that will link together. They'll provide data on agricultural monitoring, disaster relief, and environmental surveillance. 84% of the satellite was made in Taiwan. Taiwan's space agency waited eagerly for its first contact as it passed over Norway.
通联的时间大概11分50几秒，它都有正常抓到资料。基本上看起来卫星蛮健康。一个很重要，确定是太阳能板已经要展开了，因为已经有看到太阳能板这个就是这个电流，这个电已经有电进来了。
The satellite constellation is expected to be completed by 2031. Taiwan is reporting a spike in Chinese military activity near the country. The Defense Ministry says it spotted 38 Chinese military aircraft, 8 naval vessels, and 2 official ships operating near the country between Friday and Saturday morning. 35 of those aircraft came closer to Taiwan's main island. This comes as a delegation of lawmakers from Panama are visiting Taiwan despite protests from Beijing. A new report released by the Taiwanese government points out that China is undergoing extensive military construction near its coast. Some see this as Beijing building up its capabilities to take control of Taiwan. Cadence Quanta reports.
China is undergoing extensive construction projects on its east coast, possibly to prepare for a future conflict with Taiwan. That's according to a report released by Taiwan's Mainland Affairs Council, the government body that handles relations with China, citing earlier reporting from the Wall Street Journal. The report points out 5 sites in particular, including Air Force and naval bases, one of those in Shanghai, where it says China has recently built oil storage tanks and amphibious bases, and where a number of amphibious ships docked in the spring. It also references an airport China's building in the Chinese city of Xiamen, just a few kilometers away from Taiwan's outlying islands of Jinmen, which it says could be converted for military use if necessary. Analysts say the buildup is likely intended to help prepare China to take Taiwan, which it claims is its territory.
从上海的浦东到浙江的乐清湾以及漳浦直升机，这3个军事基地都在扩建，可以直接驻扎它的海军陆战队或者是空降兵，威胁台湾以及澎湖。
This comes as Taiwan's President Lai Ching-te said earlier this week that Beijing has set a 2027 deadline for making sure its military is capable of attacking Taiwan, and unveiled a new defense plan to counter it, involving a record-high proposed defense budget of $40 billion. Over the next 8 years, he said, Taiwan aims to build a strong and capable military.
第一个目标是2027年之前达成国军联战部队的高备战能力，有效嚇阻中国威胁。第二个目标是2033年进一步建成高度强韧、全面嚇阻的
So, as China seems to be rapidly increasing its readiness for an attack, Taiwan is trying to step up its own efforts to defend itself. Justin Wu and Cadence Quaranta for TaiwanPlus.
Beijing has canceled youth exchange programs with Tokyo amidst the growing feud between China and Japan. This is the latest move by China to put pressure on Japan after Prime Minister Takaichi Sanae said earlier this month that a Taiwan contingency could trigger a military response from Tokyo. According to Japanese media, several groups of Chinese high school students suddenly canceled their planned language and cultural exchange trips. In addition, China has put a ban on Japanese seafood, issued a travel warning for Japan, and canceled multiple concerts by Japanese artists. Pop star Hamasaki Ayumi is the latest to cancel her concert in Shanghai after a sudden request. Authorities confirmed that at least 128 people were killed in Hong Kong's devastating apartment complex fire. Now, 8 more people have been arrested in an ongoing investigation into possible negligence. Cadence Quanta reports.
Hong Kong mourns. as the death toll from a disastrous apartment complex fire continues to rise. Well over 100 people have been killed, and at least 200 more are missing. Flags are lowered to half-mast. Flower tributes are left near the scene. Officials bow their heads for a moment of silence. Residents say they've lost everything.
This is my home. Look over there, the 10th floor. That's where my home was. By the hills, that's where my home used to be. I really want to go back home, but my home is probably gone now. They won't let us go back, so when I look in that direction, my heart feels so heavy.
Now, attention is turning to the cause and who or what is responsible. The apartment complex had been undergoing renovations when the fire broke out, and investigators appear to be focused on the quality of construction materials used for that project, like the green netting and bamboo scaffolding covering the buildings and flammable foam panels installed on many windows. Hong Kong officials say those materials likely contributed to how quickly the fire spread, burning through the complex within hours.
We believe the fire started on the protective netting installed outside the lower floors. It then quickly spread upwards after igniting the polystyrene installation panels, reaching several floors. Within a short time, the fire had spread to 6 other buildings in Wong Court.
Officials appear to suspect wrongdoing. Earlier this week, Hong Kong police arrested 3 people working for the company that was running the renovation project, accusing them of manslaughter and gross negligence. Then, an anti-corruption agency arrested 8 more people, including an engineering consultant and several scaffolding subcontractors. Some are also questioning the government's responsibility, accusing them of missing clear warning signs. The New York Times reported that the residents had been raising concerns about the safety of renovation materials for over a year. Residents told the city's labor department that the green netting could be flammable and also complained about the foam panels. In a statement to the Times, the department said it had inspected the site several times before the fire and had indeed found violations. But it still claims to have found no issues with the netting. Even with all of this, the exact cause of the fire is still unclear. But as investigations continue and reporters start digging into the issue, more is likely to come to light very soon, giving a clearer picture of who may be responsible. Justin Wu and Cadence Quaranta for TaiwanPlus.
Former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte will remain in detention as he awaits trial for crimes against humanity. The International Criminal Court rejected an appeal to release the 80-year-old on health grounds, upholding a lower court's decision that he should remain in detention. He is currently detained in The Hague for involvement in killings related to his war on drugs in the 2010s. During his time as president, thousands of suspected criminals and drug dealers were murdered. Duterte maintains he's innocent, and his lawyers are planning further appeals. Taiwan's yearly economic growth is exceeding expectations, prompting a revision to its 2025 forecast. Economic research officials originally predicted in August that total annual growth would be 4.45%, but now are increasing that to a growth of 7.37%. They say this is due to the global AI boom, of which Taiwan is a key producer of chips and other electronics. If the economy develops as expected, it would be the country's biggest growth in 15 years. For next year, the office issued a forecast of 3.54% growth due to uncertainty about U.S. tariffs on semiconductors. The community of Dulan on Taiwan's east coast is host to thousands of visitors for its annual Amis Music Festival. Our Zoom In, Zoom Out interview show spoke with Suming Rupi, the event founder, on what it takes to put together the massive gathering of indigenous artists.
我叫苏米恩，我来自都兰部落，然后我本身是阿美族的，然后我的工作是词曲创作，也是族语歌手，到现在是阿美新乐节策展人。
You're actually like the major push for how this event would happen. What would be the major difference for this year's event compared to the previous years?
除了原有的文创市集跟美食市集之外，你会在这边看到很多很丰富的内容物，包括现代舞台比较属于流行当代的原住民音乐，文化舞台都是部落里面自己诠释自己文化的舞台。那海边孩子舞台是比较具有实验、开创性的音乐在海边的孩子舞台。另外还有部落电影院小教室，它是除了音乐之外，用工作 用电影还有沙龙的形式去呈现原住民的当代面貌。最后今天还有一个比较特别、比较新的，就是手作工作坊，然后有把原住民的刺青，就是大家可以在这里，因为原住民刺青图腾这件事情，大家可能也很好奇。那我觉得透过这样的刺青文化的分享，知道原住民图腾其实是有很多的意义，也不是随随便便就可以刺青。
We heard a lot of different components or activities that you include for this year's event. What is the part that you're most excited about?
其实最期待的是今年的升旗典礼就在文化舞台里面，主要是因为我觉得在邀请所有部落人来参与的，不管是台湾的还是国外还有来自纽西兰毛利人、马来西亚、印尼是靠近新几内亚的印尼，这些我们其实很难接触到的族群，然后在这样的开幕典礼，大家很像奥运选手进场，一个的逐一介绍，我觉得那是非常很有荣耀的感觉，可以参加这样的盛事。
You've been contribute a lot for the indigenous music already for the past years. What are the major difference of the public reaction for this type of music compared to before?
可能讲原住民音乐，大家就会觉得直觉的印象是世界音乐，或者是比较清唱的但我觉得在这个场域、这个音乐节里面，可以看得到传统的原来的样貌，但你也看得到更多当代的样貌。我觉得文化是流动的，它不是静止在那边的，然后不断的有新的年轻人继承了这些文化，然后大家用音乐来跟大家分享。那我到现在，我觉得台湾的社会开始有更多族群的族语歌手慢慢出现，甚至主流市场的唱片公司也愿意投入这个，代表其实有一群对文化渴望的听众。
For more behind-the-scenes interviews, you can watch this full episode of Zoom In, Zoom Out, available on the TaiwanPlus website and YouTube. Conservationists are working to bring their research on cetaceans off Taiwan's east coast to the world stage. Our reporter Sandy Chi explains how they do it.
The chirping of spinner dolphins, the singing of common bottlenose dolphins, and the clicking of sperm whales. Beneath the waves, there is an ocean of sounds.
第一次听到抹香鲸的那个咔嗒咔嗒的那个声音传进耳朵里，透过这个耳机，我就觉得好像我跟这个自然环境、海洋环境连结变得更深刻了。
These recordings of cetaceans off Taiwan's east coast were made by NGO Hualien Formosa Association and a local whale watching company, part of a massive project that started in 2023 to study aquatic mammals. Using offshore observation and monitoring, the team, including volunteers, take still and aerial photos and make acoustic surveys of the animals, collecting well over 300 underwater recordings, which they then organize for study.
在那个当下，其实我们是一个原始的声音，全部捞上来，在做很多的信号的处理之后，我们把它整理出来。
Most of the recordings come from sperm whales. The project heads say it's evidence that several sperm whale pods still return to Taiwan's waters each year, despite decades of fast industrial growth and weak early environmental rules polluting the seas.
幸好台湾社会并不是那么的善待海洋，但是海洋善待台湾哈，留给我们离岸比较远的抹香鲸。
To date, some of its data has already been released on international scientific platforms for researchers around the world. The team hopes to build a solid foundation for cetacean research in Taiwan and show the world their commitment to marine life and future scientific studies. Andy Xuan, Sandy Chi for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Finally, let's end today with images from Brussels, where a festive light show at the Grand Place marks the start of the Christmas season. I'm Tiffany Wong. Take care and see you next time.